Since this video is about me using buttercream that was left in my fridge for probably 10 to 15 days, I'm just going to remix what I already had in there, and then the next video will be me actually making the buttercream. So right now, as you can see, I have this buttercream. This one is not old at all, but as you can see, hello, and thank you for welcoming me back again. I know I took another break. Remember, we're getting graded about this, right? I'm grading myself also. But we're gonna give grace. So, welcome back to Heaven's Baking Culinary Institute. I'm your instructor slash student, also being taught as I learn and also teaching as I learn. So, today's video is about buttercream. So you guys know that I make posts about what the upcoming videos will be, the additions and all of that. So this week is going to be about buttercreams, even though it's the middle of the week. It's Wednesday right now. So it might go into the next week because we don't do weekends since this is only after school. So we will be going over what to do with buttercreams that are left in the fridge for over 10 days. And I believe the shelf life of buttercream is 30 days. So I try to do 10 to 20 days in use of it instead of actually going the full 30 days. But I'll get the facts on that more, and I'll put them on the screen on what the actual shelf life is so that we can all be um, told the truth about that. So as you guys can see, I have a few things here. I got a piping bag. I got a tip. I don't know if this is a rose tip or a number 2. I don't really know the numbers by heart as far as like the tips. So I got some gloves, a spatula for our scraping, scissors, of course, to cut the bag. And I'm going to show you guys all the things that I'm going to use and how I'm going to use them. This is old buttercream, right? Now, I thawed this out and everything. It's like kind of crusty up top, and then it's liquidy at the bottom. As you can see, the buttercream right there. And I just put it in a bag in a cup. And then I have my bowl. This is, we're being real transparent, because that's how it be sometimes. This is old buttercream, probably from a month ago. Dyed pink, used for cupcakes, put back in the container. And it's hard. This is room temperature butter, okay? Room temperature butter. Our apron, all right? This is hard butter. We cannot use hard butter for buttercream, okay? Because it's not going to whip appropriately. And due to the fact that my whip, one of them is not working, so only one of them do all of the work. So that's a bit of a disclaimer for this video that my equipment is not up to par. But, that's the reality of a baker sometimes. Things break and you just got to use what you got. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and begin the video. All right, see you guys. So right here, this is a prepared bag. This prepared bag is called a piping bag. A piping bag requires a tip of any size, large, big, tiny, small, Russian. This bag is a large piping bag. They actually have bags that's shorter than this that I've had before. But since I bake so much, I just say, you know what, let me just get the larger one and just keep adding buttercream in it as long as it's the same type and color. So this is just a simple thing that, you just take the bag. This one is not cut, as you can see at the end. How to prepare the piping bag is open it, put it around the cup as so. As you can see, right? I'm going to throw it in my tip side down inside, making sure that the tip is downward. And then I'm going to grab this again, push this down like this. I'm actually going to move you guys in closer so you can see better. Okay. So we got our bowl like this, or our bag like that. And I usually, to measure it, I usually push it up and say, okay, if it stopped right here and it's a small tip, I just go up like, I guess you could say 2 fingers, depending on how chunky your fingers are, and then cut, and then I push it forward like this. And that usually does the trick, right? That's a good line right there, because you don't want it to be cut too much to where the bag's gonna come out. Like, see, it's pretty taut. You want it to be very, 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 very taut, okay? Because what will happen is, if it's not taut, if the piping tip is not taut in the bag, your buttercream is going to seep out any hole that is in there. So make sure when you are using sharp tips also that you're being aware that it can scrape the bag and make holes. So be very aware when you're using sharper tips than this. This one is pretty good because it doesn't have a sharp tip. It's folded in. So yeah, you just do that and you throw in your buttercream, and I'll show you guys at the end of the video after we go forth. But you could even say you have a different color, right? You could even take, say this was pink. Take this, put this piping bag in here without putting a tip in here. Just put this bag in it with a tip on here. But we're going to get all into all of that, like furthermore into this lesson within the week. So today we're making American buttercream, which is confectioner sugar and unsalted butter, which you add either salt or milk or water. I add, and your choice of flavoring. And today we will be using just straight vanilla extract. So that is how you prepare that. And let's get into the actual making of the buttercream. Mr. Telephone Man, there's something wrong with my line. When I dial my baby's number, I get clicked every time. Mr. Telephone Man, something wrong with my line. When I dial my baby's number, I get clicked every time. All right. I want to move this stuff, but I'm not. I just want to show y'all what's going on. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. It broke, it broke, it broke it. Oh Lord, oh Lord. Good thing it was. Alright guys, so my light broke. It just fell. As you can see, this is what I usually use for my lighting. But it broke. So we're gonna be looking dull today. Either way, that's just to show the transparency of behind the scenes filming content, like the things people don't show, the things that break, the adversity that you face. But all in all, we are gonna get through this. So what I'm gonna do here is set up everything that I showed you guys previously, and we're gonna go ahead and get right into making our buttercream. And God willing that we have everything we need. Now, I will say, right, since this is a video, since this video is about me using buttercream that was left in my fridge for probably 10 to 15 days, I'm just going to remix what I already had in there, and then the next video will be me actually making the buttercream. So right now, as you can see, I have this buttercream. I have this buttercream. This one is not old at all, but as you can see, I don't know, you probably can't tell, but there's the butter. You can tell that it's separated a little bit from the actual mixture of it. So yeah, it's pretty soft, I would have to say. Now I did thaw this out overnight. This is how it looks. All right. And this is how it looks in the bag. Very crystallized, as you can see. It gets hard and everything like that, and gets very soupy. This one isn't soupy right now because I only left it out overnight. The longer you leave it overnight, the more the butter will melt, and you do not want it to get like that. That is a no. You do not want your butter to get overly melted because it's completely separated, and you just might as well just throw it away. So what I'm gonna do is take my spatula. Put you guys down a little bit. I'm gonna take this old buttercream here. It's in the bag, and just dump it in there. And as you can see, I'm like, when you're trying to get it through the tip, just take this part and just stick it. Just stick it in there like that, and it should come out more than likely. Let me scrape that, and I just discard the rest. Oops. Why is it important to re-whip? It is important to re-whip after taking it out of the fridge and thawing it out because, like I said previously, buttercream tends to separate. The camera may not do it justice right now, but it does separate. It's not as stiff as it would be. Granted, you could really pipe cake with this consistency, but because I can see the butter kind of melted in the cream, just even whipping it like this without a hand mixer is enough. I'm gonna take my gloves off because they're too big right now. So I'm gonna show you guys that. Give me one moment. So I got a new storage room for my buttercream, and I got my whip. So this whip I did not show you guys in the beginning. You will need this because I'm not gonna use my hand mixer because the consistency of this is like it's amazing. So that's why it's important to leave it out overnight. Also, if you don't leave it out overnight, give it like 2 hours, and depending on how solid it might be, it might not be this pliable. So if it is somewhat pliable, that's when you use your whip, your your mixer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and whip this by hand because it's manageable, right? So I'm just gonna do this about for like 1 minute. I'm kind of trying to see that stiff peak instead of a soft peak. combining on that flavor together again. And even if you want to go ahead and change the flavor of the buttercream, now is the time. I did add a basic flavor of vanilla, so if I wanted to go ahead and add some, like a teaspoon or a tablespoon of lemon extract, it's important to know the measurement of this. I would say this measurement is about, this is probably, I guess, this is probably like 5 ounces, honestly. This is probably 5 ounces of buttercream. So with 5 ounces, I would only add a teaspoon of extract, because extract is alcohol and you will see it separate the butter, and you don't want to do that. So I would not add a tablespoon in this. But I would add a tablespoon in like a 10-ounce batch, or the large batch that you guys are gonna see me make in the next video. So this is a pretty good consistency now. As you can see, it looks a lot different from before. Okay, I'm gonna take a picture actually for my thumbnail.
The cobblestones glisten, the city hums low, a drizzle soft whisper, where do thoughts go? The saxophone sighs in a soulful lament, a moment of peace that feels heaven sent. Through bookstore windows,
every baker tastes their product, so I kind of wish you guys can see. I'm going to use my light because I really want you guys to see this. So I don't know if you can actually tell the consistency of this. How it's kind of sweated. That's just from it being from the fridge. So don't fret, okay? Don't fret. It's gonna look like that, and we're gonna go ahead and taste it. Yeah, it's really good. It's still creamy. It still has its nice texture, soft texture. It's definitely able to be modified if you want to add cocoa powder, if you want to add food coloring, flavoring. Now is the perfect time to do so before you go ahead and mix it again. It's not a such thing as over mixing buttercream, so keep that in mind also. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to go ahead and package this up. If you guys want to stay tuned and watch me do that, then go for it. But I'm just going to store it in this container with a sealed tight lid on here. I'm just going to pop it right back in the fridge in hopes that I use it within the 10 to 20 days that I re-whipped it. So let's keep re-whipping and let's keep battering up some buttercream. And stay tuned for the next video. See ya.